Slightly less fun than a threesome, but just as awkward, uncomfortable, and sticky, it's time for another episode of Let's Play Knuckles Chaotix after what can only be described as an unbelievably long wait. And if you're as happy as I am to actually have this back, then we should probably stop talking and actually get to the action. Today I'm actually adding my commentary after having already seen the video and done all the recording and everything. So you'll probably see me being a little bit more calm and collected while trying to give you the notes. And today I think one of the main things that I'm going to do, which I've been intending to do for a while, is to actually give a proper explanation of the Chaotix backstory, as you might find if you actually had an instruction manual for the game and knew how to speak Japanese. Here's the text, as according to the Wikipedia article on Knuckles Chaotix, that actually quotes from the US manual as to the story. As you can guess, it's not really exactly considered canon by most people, because it really doesn't make much sense in terms of the other games. Tomorrow's the big opening day for Carnival Island, a huge amusement resort with the latest and high-tech rides and games. As guardian of the island, it's Knuckles' job to make sure nothing goes wrong before the grand event. Unfortunately, the evil Dr. Robotnik has other plans. He needs fuel for his latest diabolical device, and the power emerald that supplies electricity to the entire island fits the bill perfectly. His awful new invention, the Combi Confiner, should help him get rid of that annoying Echidna and friends. When Knuckles returns from patrolling the far end of the island, he discovers that Dr. Robotnik has imprisoned all of his friends: Espio the Chameleon, Mighty the Armadillo, Vector the Crocodile, and Charmy Bee. After he chases the Doctor off, Knuckles discovers that he can rescue one friend at a time by using ring power. Only the power that sparks between the rings holds the two partners together like a magical rubber band. Never held back for long, Knuckles finds that with a little teamwork, he can use the stretching and snapping action of the ring power to double and even triple the partner's speed. And they need all the speed they can get. As Dr. Robotnik drains the power from Carnival Island, everything on the island begins to break down. Robotnik must be stopped, or by tomorrow morning, the morning of Carnival Island's big opening day, the grand amusement park will lie in ruins. So yeah, a very weird storyline that really has no connection with any other game at all. Interestingly enough, in the US manual, ages for all of the characters were given. Yet, if you're actually willing to take that as correct, they would be retconned later on in Sonic Heroes. The site, the Green Hill Zone, which you can access at theghz.com, gives this for the story, which is interpreted from the Japanese manual. Several months after the events of Sonic and Knuckles, an earthquake triggered by the Master Emerald Pillar disrupts the peace and dredges up a new island from the seafloor of the Southern Ocean. This mysterious new island morphs rapidly and drastically from a barren rock into a lush paradise. Naturally, this bizarre transformation piques the curiosity of self-proclaimed Emerald Guardian Knuckles, who suspects that ruins from the lost Echidna civilization surfaced with the island, and that something there is amplifying the power of the Master Emerald Pillar. The man in red heads off to investigate, but he's one step behind a certain egg-shaped scientist. While investigating the mysterious island, Dr. Eggman discovers a tiny ring engraved with ancient writing, confirming that the island was indeed part of the lost civilization. More interestingly, he discovers ancient special rings on the island. The physical space occupied by these rings has miraculously filled with crystallized emerald energy, forming 6 powerful chaos rings. Information garnered from analyzing these chaos rings can be used to reproduce Master Emerald energy. So Eggman quickly erects a new fortress right on the mysterious island, which he calls the New Tragicaiza. By the time Knuckles arrives on the scene, Eggman's plan is already in full swing. He has succeeded in crystallizing ring energy to form artificial dark rings, which he uses to power his robot army, including the newly rebuilt Metal Sonic. Furthermore, the nefarious Doc has invented a machine capable of freezing space-time, and he has already used the device on would-be dissenters Mighty the Armadillo, Vector the Crocodile, and Charmy Bee. Espio the Chameleon, next in line for the freeze treatment, is rescued in the nick of time by a fashionably late Knuckles, who is determined that he can release one alley at a time using ring power. With rings in hand, Knuckles and Espio infiltrate the New Tragicaiza to squash Eggman's latest ambition. And no, despite the fact that I paused there, I will not be singing anything from Seven Rings in Hand in this video. I have absolutely no interest in doing so. I really don't like that song much. I will admit that, say, His World is okay, and from that same game I actually kinda like Let the Speed Mend It. But that song, no.
In case you're wondering about some of the characters in Chaotix, I'll give you some of the storyline behind them. Vector the Crocodile, for example, is a guy who just really likes money, and music, and food. The reason that he ended up joining the group in Chaotix and finding his way to the island is that when he saw it, he thought it was an act of God. Espio the Chameleon is an expert ninja, and apparently also a detective, as noted in Knuckles' Chaotix manual in Japan. So, the idea of the Chaotix being an investigative team in Sonic Heroes is hardly unprecedented. The reason that he's on the island doesn't seem to be properly explained, however. Oh, I see. Never mind. He's going to investigate the island. Excuse me. Charmy. Supposedly in the US manual listed as being 16, and then in Sonic Heroes changed to 6. The Japanese manual doesn't list an age, as noted in the Wikipedia article. Hyperactive, scatterbrained, loud, and immature, it says. Charmy is out doing what bees do best. I'm going to assume that's pollination. And he gets captured by Dr. Eggman while he's doing that. Whereas Mighty the Armadillo is just an armadillo who really likes exploring and traveling and stuff. He's also considered to be a gentle and caring pacifist, using only his strength and fighting abilities when there is no other option. And the reason that he's on the island is that he happened to come across it during some of his explorations. And Heavy, Dr. Robotnik's chief mechanic, Bomb is a bomb. Supposedly they've escaped from the clutches of Robotnik, but it's uncertain if that's the truth or not. Anyway, things get a little bit weird here during the game, I think. We're okay for now, but some interesting things will be popping up in a little while. I'm actually not watching this as I'm trying to give the commentary, though, so it's all a bit on the confusing side. I've given you most of the backstory here, so there's very little for me to say right now. You'll notice, though, that in this playthrough of this level, I've tried to go to a little bit longer route. I'm trying to show you some of the extra stuff. Like, that's why I took that leftmost route, for example, in the first area. Or the lower route, I should say, and I'm taking this left and lower route here, going over to the special ring and stuff. That's what I meant to say. Alright, and so far we're good. I mean, nothing's glitching up right now. The bonus stage is certainly behaving normally. Which is surprising, because considering how pretty much everything important seems to be handled by the 32X processors and stuff, it seems to be working fine. So, yeah, grabbing a whole bunch of rings, and also losing several rings in the process. Let's see here, how many rings did I start with? It was like, yeah, 67, 68 or so. And we end up with, closer to 113, even though we've peaked at, like 130-ish. So yeah, that right there takes us down fairly low. Also, the Darth of rings in between certain points. So, yeah, that's basically it right there. And, as you can see, there were glitches, rather significant ones. And I bet there's a lot of feedback in the background because I was starting to play the video there. Yeah, we gotta speed it up. It actually hasn't completely frozen up, but for some reason it's just going really slowly. Anyway, if you want, you can skip ahead a couple of seconds and that'll probably work itself out. Actually, it does work itself out. What am I talking about? It definitely did. I watched this whole thing, for crying out loud. Let's seems I forgot to turn on my microphone while recording this last bit, so I think the sound is duplicated here, but oh well. So that's why if the background sound seems a little bit louder than it was before, that's why. So, looks like it's, yeah, there we go. It's finally resumed properly. So, up we go some. Yeah, running along the wall a whole lot around here. Yeah, that's good. And, yeah, just trying to get up to the top of the level now, basically, where the power-ups and stuff are. Grabbing some rings. Yeah. This is going pretty well. See, this is going to be another triple update, I think. We're going to cut it close, but we're going to make it, I think, right? Right? Wrong.